Hello everyone. A very good morning, guys. I hope I am live and you can hear me and see me. Just give me 1 second. Let me just check if I'm live. Okay, yes. I am very much live. Also, let me check the audio and you can hear me and see me. Just give me 1 second. Let me just check. It's live. Okay. The audio is also absolutely clear. So, guys, a very warm welcome to today's class. Okay, just a second. Let me. Yes. All right. So, a very warm welcome, a very good morning to all of you, and a very warm welcome to today's class. And as I told you guys today, that we will be talking about the Kushan Empire today, and a little bits also we will be talking about the Shak dynasty, the Shak Empire as well. So we will be starting with our discussion on the empire today. So, and before you all start with our discussion, I would request everyone to join the Telegram channel. The link has been given here. The link and the scan code both have been given, so you can use whichever you want. Now, why is it important for you to join this? It is important because from here only you will get updates regarding the classes. Okay, you will get updates regarding the classes. You will also get your notes. You can contact your teachers from here. You can talk to them if you have any issues regarding any topic that you might not have understood. All of that would be taken care of here. Just a second, I'm so sorry, I'll just put my phone on silent. So all of that would be taken here, all of that would be taken care of in this particular group. So it's very important to join this group so that you can stay updated on whatever is happening. All right. Now, and also guys, before we begin, I would request all of you to please do like the video, share it with your friends, all right? And also please do subscribe to the channel. Just a second. Sorry. Yes. Also, please do subscribe to the channel and also press the bell notification so that you get updated whenever we post a new video. That would be really, I'll be really grateful if you do that. Also, if there's something you like, you can tell us about it in the comment section. If there is something you don't like, you can also tell us about it in the comment section, and we'll be more than happy to work upon it. So, chaliye, without any further ado, let's start with our discussion today. Now, today I have not given a detail about as to what we will do in tomorrow's class, because let me see how much I'm able to finish today, and then accordingly I will decide what I'll do in tomorrow's class. So let's talk about the origin of the Kushans. So guys, if you all remember, when I was teaching you about the Gupta Empire, when I was teaching you about the other empires, I told you that with the decline of the Mauryas, right, with the decline or with the end of the modern dynasty, you will see the rise, okay, you will see the rise of what is known as two major powers in India, fine. That was the Kushanas, and then we have the Guptas. Guptas is something which we have already completed. So now we will be focusing on the Kushanas. Okay. So Kushanas or Kushang were one of the five great Yoichi principalities. All right, they were tribes basically. So guys, let me just point out one thing. Remember that the Kushanas are actually from China. Okay, where are they from? They're actually from China. They're not natives of India. Fine. They did come from China, but once they started ruling in India, they actually did understand the needs of the people here. They were able to focus on the needs of the people here. Okay. So Kushanas, or what is their original name? Kushan. Okay, the name is Kushan, or the Kushan, were one of the five great Yoichi principalities. Okay, they were basically one of the five great Yoichi tribes. In the first century CE, Kujula Cadphises, okay, Cadphises 1, that's the name. He brought together these five principalities and he founded the Kushan Empire. Fine. So, what did he do? He brought together, or basically, he united these five principalities, the five great Yoichi tribes, and he founded the Kushan Empire. The Kushan movement in India can be traced back to the 1st century CE during the time of Cadphises I. So he was actually the founder of the empire also, and he was the one who first came to India. Fine. He was the one who first came to India as well. I'll also mark the important points for you. So guys, these two are very important points. This is something very important you must know. Who is the founder? When did he found the empire? And also, when did he come to India? Fine. So remember, it was Cadphises I. Now, Kushanas are considered to be one of the five branches of the Yoichi tribes who lived in the Chinese frontier or Central Asia. So Kushanas are considered to be one of the five branches. Okay, so there were five Yoichi tribes, right? So even though the Yoichi tribes were united and Kushanas were formed, Kushanas are still considered that they were part of what? They were part of the Yoichi tribe. Okay, Yoichi or Yoichi, you can pronounce it whichever way you want. Alright, now those who lived in Chinese or basically Central Asian area. Now, they are known as Guishang in Chinese sources. So for us, it's Kushanas, but they are known as what? They are known as Guishang in Chinese sources. Fine. They eventually acquired dominance over the Yoichi tribe. They moved eastwards towards India, defeating the Parthians and the Shakas in the 1st century AD. So how did they move eastwards towards India? After defeating the Parthians and the Shakas in the 1st century AD. So that is why it is also important to talk about the Shakas. Though they're not mentioned, they will not be mentioned in a lot of detail, guys. It is important to know about them, right? So this is how the Kushan Empire established itself in India. Okay, so let's finish. Let's do some more slides and then we can clear some doubts together. So let's talk about the Kushan Empire and the different rulers who have ruled over them, who have ruled over the empire, and whatever their contributions would have been. So Kujula Cadphises or Cadphises I, fine, was the first Yuzihi chief to lay the foundation of the Kushan Empire in India. Fine. So Cadphises I, he's like the founder of the Kushan Empire, and he is the founder of the Kushan Empire in India. He laid down the foundation. Fine. He established his supremacy in Kabul, Khandar, and Afghanistan. He was succeeded by his son Vima Taku or Sadashkhan, who expanded the empire into northwest India. Okay? So he was succeeded by whom? His son, whose name was Vima Taktu, alright, or basically his other name was Sadash Khan, who expanded the empire into northwest. So basically, Cadphises I was someone who established his supremacy over Kabul, Khandar, and Afghanistan. Alright. So after establishing the supremacy here, what happened? They expanded their area to where? They expanded their area to the northwestern part of India. Okay. That is all about your ruler one. That is all about your ruler first. Cadphises. जो founder है ये उनके बारे में था. Now let's talk about ruler Vima Cadphises. He's the second ruler. An inscription found in Rabatak in Afghanistan mentions that the son of Vima Taku and father of Kanishka. Okay? So, an inscription found at Rabatak in Afghanistan, it mentions the son of Vima Taku. So, Cadphises had a son called Vima Taku, and Vima Taku had a son, all right, who was the father of Kanishka. And who is this? This is Vima Cadphises. Okay? So, Cadphises 1, fine. Then Vima Taku, and then we have Vima Cadphises. Okay? So he had issued a large number of gold coins. So guys, if you remember, I already told you this in our discussion that Kushanas were the first ones actually to issue gold coins. है ना? ये पहले थे जिन्होंने gold coins issue किया था. He was a Shiva devotee, as it is clear from his coins which were issued by them. A large number of Roman gold coins have been found from this era, which indicates that they had a growing trade relations with the Romans. Okay, so yes, I know you will ask me a question as to, ma'am, they were all coming from China. How is it that they were following Hinduism? So guys, understand that when they came here, when they became part of India, they started accepting all of the Indian traditions which were there, and hence Hinduism and Buddhism was a part of it which they had readily accepted. Let me know if you have any doubts here in the first and in the second slide. The live chat is open, guys. You can just let me know if there's anything you don't understand. Any doubts, any difficulties in the first and second slide? I hope you understand the chronology. So we have Cadphises, we have Vima Taktu, and then we have Vima Cadphises. Okay? Then we'll have the greatest ruler of all, of the Kushan dynasty, that is Kanishka. All right, let's move ahead then. Okay, let's talk about Kanishka, who is one of the main rulers of the Kushan dynasty. We know him, we are really familiar with him. So, considered as the greatest Kushana king and also one of the great kings of ancient India, he was the son of Vima Cadphises. Okay? So, his kingdoms included Afghanistan, parts of the Sindhu Ghati, where Indus Valley civilization is located, parts of Parthia, Punjab, Kashmir, and also parts of Magad, including Patliputra, Malwa, Banaras, perhaps parts of Bengal, Kothan, Kashnagar, Yakhrand, which is last three is in China. All right. So Kothan, Kashgar, and Kashgar and Yakhrand, they are all in China. His empire covered Gandhar, Peshawar, Awadh, Patliputra, Kashmir, Mathura. His empire also included parts of Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, and his capital was Peshawar, then known as Purushpura. So you can imagine the humongous area of his empire, guys, isn't it? It is not just covering Central Asia, It is covering Central Asian. It is covering huge parts of Central Asia. It is covering Afghanistan. It is covering Uzbekistan. It is covering Tajikistan. It is covering certain parts in China. It is covering so many, almost like the whole of northern belt in India. So he had a huge, huge, huge empire, guys. Definitely huge. All right. And his capital here was Peshawar. Then it was known as Purushpura. Please remember this. This is very important because you might get this in your MCQ and you have to know both the names. Now, after the capture of Patliputra, he is said to have taken away the Buddhist monk Ashwaghosh with him to Peshawar. The scholars in his court included Parsav, Ashwaghosh, Vasumitra, Nagarjuna, Charak, and Mathara. He also patronized Greek engineer Agilisius. Okay, so what is happening here? In his court, now his court included a lot of very intelligent people because he was aware of their contributions, he was aware of their intelligence, he was aware about their work. So he's said to have carried away the Buddhist monk Ashwaghosha with him to Peshawar. So he did carry him away. And then he also carried away some very great literary writers, some very great, you can say the Navratans, alright. So Ashwaghosh, Vasumitra, Nagarjuna, Charak, Mathara. And then he also patronized Greek engineer Agsilos. Okay, sorry, I'm so sorry for the pronunciation. It's Agsilos, guys. Okay. So what did he do? He did patronize the Greek engineer Agsilos. Kanishka convened the fourth Buddhist council in Kundalwana in Kashmir. So the fourth Buddhist council had taken place in Kashmir. Again, guys, very important point. Please remember, because this usually comes as a question. This usually I have seen in a lot of questions in NET JRF, in UPSC exams. Also, I've seen this as a question, that where have the Buddhist councils taken place? The Buddhist councils have taken place in Kashmir. So the fourth one, okay, the fourth Buddhist council took place in Kashmir, fine, which was obviously headed, which was patronized, or which was supported by Kanishka. He patronized Buddhism, although he was very tolerant in his religious view. His coins contain a mix of Indian, Greek, and Zoroastrian deities. So guys, see, Kanishka is ruling over a huge geographical area, fine. This huge geographical area has different cultures, right? India has a different culture. China has a different culture. Uzbekistan and Tajikistan at this time have a different culture, isn't it? So yes, he had to be very religiously tolerant. But I would not say that he had to be, but he was, which is a very good thing. ये बहुत ही कोई अच्छी बात है that he was a very, very, very tolerant ruler. Fine. So he did patronize Buddhism. His personal beliefs were definitely towards Buddhism, but he was very tolerant towards other religion as well. How do we know that he was tolerant towards other religion? Because when he look at his coins always contain a mixture of Indian, Greek, and Zoroastrian deities. Okay, so Zoroastrians are basically in Uzbekistan and Tajikistan. I hope you all know that we don't have what is known as Islam at this point of time, guys. Okay, Islam will only come in the 600s, 612. So, is time pe we don't have Islam as such. Okay, all right. So, so he was very tolerant in his view. He was also a great patron of art and architecture. The Gandhar school of art flourished under him. He also propagated Mahayana form of Buddhism and was largely responsible for propagating it in China. It is not known, it is not sure, we don't know how he died. So he was a good patron of art and architecture. So I'm sure you have seen the huge colossal statue which was constructed of him, right? We have this huge colossal statue of him. At the same time, the Gandhar school of art. So I'm sure you're aware that Buddhist sculptures are actually represented in two forms of art, guys. One is the Gandhar school of art, and the other is the Mathura school of art. Now, Mathura school of art is not as advanced as the Gandhar school of art. The Gandhar school of art was very much inspired by the Greek sculptures. Fine. So, I'll show you some pictures in the next class. The way the sculptures have been made, each and every fold is visible, even the nerves of the skin is visible. That's how it has been sculpted. So Gandhar school of art was really patronized under him, and he supported what is known as Mahayana Buddhism, and he also took it to China. Fine. And we don't really know how he died. Fine. So guys, let me know if you have any doubts here. Otherwise, we will move ahead. The live chat is open, guys. If there's something you don't understand, you can definitely put it up in the live chat if there's any point that you have difficulty in. Just read the entire point and let me know if there's anything you don't understand. Read all the points and then only please let me know if there is any difficulty that you guys are facing. Okay. Chaliye. Since there are no doubts, we should move ahead. And guys, it's not that if you don't ask your doubts now, you cannot ask it later. For those who watch the recordings, for those who watch this later, they can definitely ask their doubts in the comment section. Okay. And we will definitely read the comments and get back to you in the next class or whenever we have a doubt clearing session. Okay. Let's talk about the achievements of the Kushanas and what was the significance of the empire, particularly in India. So, Sanskrit literature began to be developed during this time. Now, this is actually a great contribution that even though they were patronizers of Buddhism and they were not really follower of Hindu culture, or you can say Hindu religion, but yes, Sanskrit literature was being patronized here. He is also the holder of the Buddhist Council. Fine. So the Buddhist Council was also held in Sanskrit. Fine. Guys, even though this is Kanishka is not to be blamed about this, I'm not saying that he's to be blamed, but you can see that Buddhism is now started to lose its essence, right? Buddhism was meant to be the language, it was meant to be in the language of the people, it was meant to be for the people, but now it has changed because now you're having council in Sanskrit because Buddhism never really spoke in Sanskrit. It was always in Prakrit, Pali, all of these languages which were language of the people. But anyway, chaliye. Ashwaghosh is considered to be the first Sanskrit dramatist. So he produced a lot of dramas. Fine. So during this time, three distinct school of arts. So we have the Gandhar school of art, guys, which is in northwest India. We have the Amravati school of art in Andhra Pradesh and the Mathura school of art in the Ganges Valley. I already told you about the Mathura school of art and the Gandhar school of art, and there was one more school of art which was Amravati. This is a very important point, guys, because you have to remember the location of all of these schools of art. Because Gandhar school of art was in the northwest, Amravati was in Andhra Pradesh, Mathura was in the Ganges Valley. Okay? The Kushanas controlled large part of the Silk Route. Obviously, they have a huge empire. They would be controlling that, and they also are engaged in trade relations with the Roman Empire. So, They control large parts of Silk Route, which really helped them in propagating Buddhism into China. It was during this time that Buddhism spread to Korea and Japan also. So from China, it did spread to Korea and Japan as well. Many towers, chaityas, towns, beautiful sculptures were built under the patronage of Kushana kings. So chaityas, towns, sculptures, mostly Buddhist sculptures, they were all constructed under the Kushan kings. Kushan were foreign invaders to begin with, but they completely Indianized in ways and cultures. It is said that Kushan period in Indian history was a perfect forerunner to the golden age of the Guptas. So Kushanas, yes, as I told you guys in the beginning of the lecture only, that Kushanas were definitely foreign invaders, right? They were coming from a different country and different background altogether. But still, when they came to India, they Indianized their ways in such a way. They started worshipping Shiva, they started following Buddhism, they understood the environment, the culture of the place they were in. They Indianized it in such a way that it becomes one of our greatest contributors, not just to the economy and prosperity, but also to the cultural aspect of India. Right? So Kushanas actually upheld the cultural aspect of India rather than downgrading it or changing it or trying to do anything else. So it is said that the Kushan period was a very good predecessor or like a forerunner because it helped in ushering what is known as the golden age of the Guptas. All right, let me know if you have any doubts here, guys. Just take a look at all the points once and let me know if there's something you don't understand. Now, I will be talking about these School of Art. All right, we'll have a separate lecture about them. We will be talking about them in detail. Okay, so don't worry about that. That will be done. Guys, the live chat is open. Just take a look at all the points. Let me know if there's anything you don't understand or if there's any particular point that you have a doubt in. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's talk about the decline of the Kushan Empire. So Kanishka was succeeded by his son, Vashishka. Vashishka was followed by Huviksha and Kanishka the second. Kanishka was followed by Vasudev I. Now, Vasudev I, one of the great and the last kings of the Kushanas, and after his death, the empire disintegrated away. See, guys, when you have such huge empires, it is, only a few kings, a few great kings who can manage that empire. Not everyone will be as great as that one particular ruler, and it is actually quite difficult for anyone else to manage that humongous empire. Okay, so after Kanishka, we have his son Vashishka. After Vashishka, we have Huviksha and Kanishka's second, who was the son of Vashishka. And after Kanishka second, we have the last ruler, Vasudev I. Now, he was the last ruler and obviously was not able to manage the humongous size of the empire. And it is after him that the empire slowly disintegrated and he died in 232 AD. And with his death, we will see the decline of the Kushan Empire. Okay, let's do a few more slides and then we can clear some doubts together. Let's talk about the Kushan art. So, I already told you that three schools of art had flourished here. We have Gandhar, we have Amravati, and we have the Mathura school of art. Fine. So, at the crossroads of Kushan dominion, art and culture of Gandhar established, and the traditions of Greco-Buddhist art are the best recognized manifestations of Kushan influence to Westerners. So what we can see here is that in the Gandhar school of art, as I told you, they were really inspired by the Greece or the Western way of sculpturing or the Western way of sculpting something. So here you can see, and in only the Gandhar school of art, you will see this influence of Greco-Roman Buddhist art here. And this shows that how the Kushanas were influencing the Westerners as well. Several direct portrayals of Kushanas are also known from Gandhar. Alright, they would wear a tunic, a belt, pants, and act as devotees of the Buddhas as well as the Bodhisattvas and future Buddha Maitreya. Many pictures of Gandhar from the Kushan Empire have striking similarity to Greek, Syrian, Persian and Indian figures. So we have some Gandhar sculptures which actually depict the Kushan kings as well. So in the Kushan kings, you will see that they are wearing a tunic, they wear a belt. Tunic is like a top that they wear. They have belt, they have pants, and they act as the devotees of the Buddhas, the Bodhisattvas. All of these concepts you're already familiar with, guys, because I've already completed them. Fine. And most of the pictures which have come from the Gandhar from the Kushan Empire, they have a striking similarity to Greek, Syrian, Persian and Indian figures. Why? Because obviously, guys, the Kushan Empire is ruling over that part of the country as well, that part of the empire as well. So definitely there is bound to be some influence. Okay? Heavy drapes and curling hair are common Western looking style trademarks. So heavy drapes, now what do you mean by that? So if you ever look at some pictures, you will see how every fold of the cloth is visible. Fine. I will be showing you some pictures in the next class, or particularly when we deal about this different schools of art. जब मैं इनके बारे में डील करूंगी तो मैं आपको और भी डिटेल में दिखाऊंगी इनके पिक्चर्स. So heavy drapes, what do you mean by that? So heavy drapes here mean that every fold of the cloth is going to be visible. The things that we call silhouette. So if you're taking a shawl, every fold of the shawl is visible. Fine. And there would be heavily curled hair. Now these are some classic Western looking trademarks. This was something which the Western sculptors employed, or they used this strategy a lot. And this can also be seen in the Gandhar school of art. Now, as the Kushanas took control of Mathura, the Mathura school of art also developed significantly, and freestanding statues of Buddha began to be mass produced. So we have freestanding stupas of Buddha, but they were not as good as compared to the Gandhar school of art. Okay. So probably encouraged by the doctrinal changes in Buddha that allowed to depart from aniconism that had prevailed in the Buddhist sculptures at Mathura, Bharhut, Sanchi by the end of the 2nd century BC. So guys, there's something you have to know here, that if you remember, I told you, I actually taught you this, that Buddha was never represented in his human form, right? Buddha in his sculptures also in Sanchi, Bharhut and Mathura or in Amravati, they have always been represented, or he has always been represented in what? In symbols, right? He has never been represented in his human form. But as you can see, this has changed in the Mathura School of Art. Now, this actually happened because there were doctrinal changes in Buddhism. So, from Hinayan, we've gone to Mahayana. There are changes in the basic policies of Buddhism. Fine. So, that is why you will see that now Buddha is being represented in the human form as well. Okay, let me know if you have doubts here, otherwise we'll move ahead. The live chat is open, guys. Whatever doubts you have, you can definitely put it up there. Guys, let me know if there's anything you don't understand. Okay, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's talk about Kushan coinage. So Kushan coinage was plentiful. Obviously, we found so many Kushan coins. We found Roman coins also in India, indicating that they had trade relations with Roman Empire. So Kushan coin was plentiful and served an essential propaganda weapon in supporting each Kushan ruler. Fine. How did they support the Kushan emperor? So, Denaria was the titles which were given to the Kushan coins. Now, why do you think this title was given to the Kushan coins? Because it was derived from the Roman word denarius aureus. Okay? So, the Roman coins were known as denarius, and that is why the Kushan coins were known as dinar. Fine. Now, why? Guys, they had trade relations with the Roman Empire, and that is why the Roman coins and the Kushan coins were similar in weight. So at that point of time, there was no rates of exchange, right? There was no one particular authority deciding what would be the rate of exchange. That $1 is equal to 83 rupees. Fine. So there was no person, no one to decide it like that. Okay. So what happens here? Since there was no one to decide like that, what did the Romans and the Kushanas do? They basically made sure that the weight of gold in both of their coins would remain the same, so that they could melt the coin, they could melt it later and use it for their own coins as well. So Kushan coin was replicated as far as the Kushano-Sasanians in the east of the kingdom and the Samantata in Bengal. So these are the areas from Kushano-Sasanians, which is obviously in Persia, in Iran. So from here till the Samantata in Bengal, till here the empire was replicated. Okay? Now, following Samudragupta's conquest in the northwest, the Gupta Empire's currency was also drawn from the Kushan Empire's coinage, adopting its weight standard procedures and pattern. So following Samudragupta's conquest in the north, the Gupta currency, alright, the Gupta currency also followed, which currency? Also followed the Kushan currency only. So the weight was same, the standard was same, the procedure, the patterns, all of this remained the same even during the Gupta Empire and the coins that they had produced. In comparisons to prior dynasty, where Greco-Roman and Persian style was primarily followed, the iconography on Gupta coins were both more Indian and obviously more close to the culture. So before Guptas, the coins were basically, very Greco-Roman or very Persian style, because we had cultural contacts with them. But with the Gupta coins, the iconography or the images on the coins were very much Indian in both style and in subject matter. Okay, so let me know if you have any doubts here. If there's anything you don't understand, you can just let me know. Okay. So, guys, here we have finished with our discussion of the Kushan Empire. All right. Kushan Empire discussion is being done, but still we have time. So, I would like to do a little bit of discussion the Shak Empire as well. Fine. So, we have spoken in the Kushan Empire, we've spoken about the various rulers, their coinage, their contribution towards art, architecture, and literature. And then we've also spoken about the decline of the empire. All right, so let's talk about a little bit about the Shak Empire as well. Little bit only we will focus. I'll just introduce the topic to you so that we can continue it tomorrow in the next class. So as I told you that I will decide what we have to do only in the next class, only towards the end. So for tomorrow 10 a.m. be ready. Tomorrow we will be dealing with the Shak Empire. Okay, let's talk about the origin. The beginning of the Shak era is related to the ascent of the king Chahastana. All right. Who is this person? Chahastana was the king. When he ascended the throne, that's when the Shak origin, or that's when the Shak era begins. The period of Shak era falls between 11 years and 52 years. The information was retrieved from the inscription of King Chahastana. So what are we seeing here? That the period of Shak era falls between 11 years and 52 years. मतलब 11 to 52 years इन्होंने rule किया है. And this information that they rule for how many years? This is actually been retrieved from the inscription of the king which is mentioned here. Scythians, they are referred to as the Shakas in the Indian sources. They are actually a group of Iranian nomadic pastoral tribes. Again, guys, as I told you, they were not part of the Indian subcontinent. They were not natives of India. Fine. They were definitely not natives of India. And that is why the term Malay has been used for them, because they were coming from outside of India. They were not speaking the Sanskritic languages. At the same time, what is happening? They're not followers of Hinduism. Okay, so that is why the term Malay has been used. So Scythians or Shakas were basically a group of Iranian nomadic pastoral tribes. In the 2nd century BC, Central Asian nomadic tribes and tribes from Chinese region invaded the present day Kazakhstan, whose inhabitants were Scythians. So 2nd century BC, what happened? Asian nomadic tribes of China and of those who basically followed the Chinese religion invaded, okay, the area, the Kazakhstan area where the Scythians were living. This promoted the Scythians to move towards Bactria and Parthia. So because they were constantly being invaded, they started moving towards Bactria and Parthia, and they defeated the Parthia king. Once they had defeated the Parthian king, they decided to move towards India. Scythians who migrated to India are known as Indo-Scythians, or basically the Shakas. That is the name which has been used for them. Please remember this point, that they are known as Indo-Scythians. Okay? Now, the Shakas had an Indian kingdom larger than that of the Indian Greeks. So Shakas, even though they were coming from outside, they had an Indian kingdom which was much, much, much larger than the Indo-Greeks ever had. All right. So guys, I think we will be ending the session here itself. we have spoken, we've started with the shark rulers, we've started with the shark origin. So this is what I will continue in tomorrow's lecture. I will be talking about some of the greatest of the rulers here. We have Ruddaman, we have Chahastana. So these are the various rulers that we will be talking about. We'll be talking about their art, architecture, literature, their contributions to various fields. All of this would be done in detail in tomorrow's class. Now, if there's anything that you have not understood in today's class, you are more than welcome to ask. All right, आप बिल्कुल पूछ सकते हैं. Fine. I'm so sorry. ओके सो यू आर मोर देन वेलकम टू आस्क. आप डेफिनेटली जो है वो पूछ सकते हैं इसके बारे में. यू कैन ऑलवेज ड्रॉप इन अ कॉमेंट. फाइन, you can always drop in a comment if you're watching it for the later classes. You can always drop in a comment. So I will end the session here. And again, before I leave, I would request everyone to join the Telegram group. The link has been given here. Also, what we have is okay, the link has been given here, guys. Fine. लिंक जो है वो यहाँ पे दिया हुआ है. Plus, you have also been given the scan code, so you can use whichever you want. Why is it important for you to join this? Because this is where you will get updates from your classes. You will also get your notes of the classes, whichever classes we have conducted. You can also download the Result Guru app from Play Store for some exclusive content, some exclusive preparation, some exclusive tips. You can definitely download the app here. Now, also, before you all leave, I would request everyone to please like the video, share it with your friends, fine, comment and let us know if there's anything you like. If there's anything you don't like, then also आप हमें बता सकते हैं. We will be more than happy to work upon it, to improve upon it. And also, guys, before you all leave, please do subscribe to the channel, because that really motivates us to put in a lot more efforts in our videos, because we know that you are out there supporting us. And also, please press the bell notification on so that you get notified whenever we post a new video. So thank you so much for joining in today's session. I really hope it was helpful, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed. And I will be seeing you all in the next class tomorrow at 10 a.m. We will be dealing with the shakas. All right. So thank you so much, guys. See you all. Take care. Bye-bye.